It's often said that our worship is only for God. Is that true or a myth? Let's find out. Hey, welcome to another episode of Worship Myths. I'm Dan McCullum from Prophetic Company Worship, your source for recognizing and responding to the voice of God in and through worship. I'm here with our worship leader, Bethany Hicks. Bethany, I got a question for you today.
Yeah?
Is worship only for God?
I mean, obviously your first instinct is like, yes. It's kind of like, every kid in Sunday school, what's the answer? Jesus, right? So you want to say yes, but the way that you're asking it makes me think maybe it's not only for God, which then sounds somewhat blasphemous. But what are you thinking, Dano?
Well, in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 19 to 20, it says, keep on being filled with the Holy Spirit, speaking to one another in songs and hymns and spiritual songs, making melodies in your heart to the Lord. And so really, it's like both.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, our heart, the heart of worship is totally for the Lord, but there are things that are being released over the congregation.
I know we often say that actually our worship is vertical, but it has a horizontal impact. And so really knowing that God is big enough to even do that, and it can feel like our worship is only for God, and it is, but I know there is times, again, because we're worshiping the Lord, that it does release something into the room, into people's lives. I mean, worship changes you, you can't help but be changed by your vertical connection with the Lord.
And I'm thinking about David.
Right.
David was called into the courts of King Saul to play worship music,
right?
To create an atmosphere of healing. Well, was that for Saul or was that for God?
Right.
Obviously, he was doing it unto the Lord, but he was doing it for the atmosphere of healing and deliverance that it would create.
I think that's really a key then, Dana, wouldn't you say, is the fact that the posture of your heart, it's really unto the Lord, but recognizing that it will absolutely have that impact into the atmosphere or a person or something like that. I feel like it's almost like an unawareness for people if they think it only affects God directly when we worship. And so this is really an important point, an important principle.
I would probably say that's why we don't see more happen in the room.
Wow.
Because we're taking people and we're engaging them with heaven, but heaven's not really coming to earth. We're not seeing people healed or saved or touched the way we see in the Bible during worship.
Right.
And it's probably because of our ignorance of this principle.
I know a lot of times when we're training as well, we teach our teams that when they're singing and they're worshiping with a song, that not to just sing the song, but to send the song. And as they're singing and they're worshiping and lifting God up as the God who breaks every chain, we're actually sending it as well.
What chains are we breaking?
Into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Exactly. Are there chains in heaven? No. So we're singing about God. You are the chain breaker. And as we're worshiping as the chain breaker, He's actually breaking chains in the atmosphere around us.
So how do we answer this one, Bethany? Is worship only for God? Is that a myth or is that a truth?
It's a myth.
I think it's busted.
It's totally busted. So what about you? Do you feel like this is a myth or is this truth? Go ahead and post your comments below.
And if you have a myth that you'd like us to explore together, put that in the comments as well.
And go ahead and click subscribe to catch future episodes of Prophetic Company Worship Myths.